Hello everybody, welcome to Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Today we're going to look up Materia Fusion and how this is going to help you by watching this video. Well, first things first, I'm going to tell you how it is. The higher up on the list of Materia, once you have actually went to Materia and sort auto, you will see your weakest Materia up top. And that works for all these lower ones. So at the bottom, these are the most powerful materias, and you're not going to be able to really create them, even if you tried. I think just like 2 mastered Moogles is going to give a Libra, because you can't make the greatest materias. So up top is the weaker, and if you want to upgrade, you're going to have to upgrade it with maybe, hold on, Thunder's too weak. If we take Bazera and look at the brackets, alright, for colorblind people, I want to tell you the second. So the reason on the list I'm going to divide it a little bit is because Thunder all the way to Thunderga, all of these are dark green, meaning if I start off with the weakest and go with the strongest, I'm going to get the strongest. Okay, that's not a problem of understanding. If you start with the strongest and go with the weakest, you're still going to get the strongest. And it only gets tricky when you're mixing materias up, okay, to enhance and if you want to stick with leveling up a certain type of your materia, the one that you want to have, you're gonna have to stick with the same bracket for the most part. But from Thunder all the way to Blazeriga and Thunderga was one bracket, and it's dark green. From Cure all the way down to Dispel, all these were light green. From Barrier and End Barrier Wall and all that stuff, that's a hot green. And then you'd understand that Drain all the way down to Ultima is dark green. Now this dark green is the same as the elemental spells up here, but they're stronger, so they were down on the list as a different materia bracket. Okay, after Ultima we have some command materia, which is a darkish yellow, and what we're going to do is look at those materias from the top, darkness probably being the weakest and hardest to make, down to the lowest, which is the most easiest to make. And then Osmos Blade and Aerial Drain from darkness, all of that was a darker yellow. And then we have Still all the way down to Guild Toss, I believe. All these were hot yellow, or just plain yellow. Now we have more dark yellow with the punch class ability. These are in their own bracket too, and in order to upgrade, you're going to need these punch abilities. Then from HP up all the way to Spirit up and Magic up, those are purple, and they're just that increasing. Still stronger than most Fire Us and stuff like that, but still in their own bracket. So HP up sometimes won't have a dominance over Spirit up, but that's not technically correct, because some of them are just generally leveled. So the lower the level, the unlikeliness of you actually creating that. The higher the level of the bracket, the more chances of you creating that. So even if I start off with an attack plus, if I have something even that's supposedly weaker, an HP up plus, it doesn't mean that that HP up plus is going to win. It just means It was better than the attack up plus. But that's just because it's so close to the same bracket and the same thing. So an attack up and an HP up will create an attack up, but an HP up or an MP up and an attack up will make an MP up. It's because they're the same level materia plus against a same level. So you just get one and as your dominant and then one as your submit and fuse together and you'll get what you want. So Libra, Dash, Dual Cast, some of these, especially all these summon ones, can never be created in Fusion. So even if I had 2 Zanazukans, they're just going to make a Libra. They're really hard to actually upgrade. So how does this helpful? Well, if you take a Thunder and you level it up with anything below this, you're pretty much going to get a improvement of a job. So to make Hell Blizzaga or Hell Thunderga, we'd just take we'll take Thunderga and Silence, and that should actually give me Dark Thunderga. Yeah, there we go. You just got to remember up top, low level item materia, down bottom, high level materia. And sometimes you want a weaker materia, sometimes you want a stronger materia, like with the punches. Okay, I think the highest, the easiest that I can get to getting Costly Punch is when you get Goblin Punch or Magic Punch. Any of those will result in you getting Costly Punch, which is the highest level. But that's only because purple is the highest there is, and you can hardly ever make it. It's just there just to upgrade materials, pretty much. But if we did something like a different level, since these are weaker, and let me just give an example. You're betting a high leveled materia against something that's smaller, but if you take it down into more higher level area on your list, because attack up is barely better than a Costly or a Goblin Punch, but you know, it takes every bracket has a tier 1 to 5. So if it's green and tier 1, it's still going to be weaker than an unaccessible compared to something that's any other bracket in tier 2 or 5. So a Thunder is the hardest thing to max out because it's on such a low level. Now you can do it by pretty much using the same materia is the quickest way. So any materia that you wanted to make, like Ultima with max stats, you would only really want to make Ultimas and increase your stats and the list. Now no matter what, we're going to get an Ultima, but as you can see, it's MP plus 30%. The last thing you're going to get in the game that's useful for materia fusion is the accessory that, well, it's not an accessory, it's a tome that allows you to use items. Now mostly this isn't that great, except for that you can steal 99 Phoenix Downs from the last boss, giving you access to maximize all your stats and all your materia. However, during the game, what I wanted to understand and address to you guys about is these stones, whether it be attack stones or HP stones, anything that's a Mako stone that you see on the screen here, you're gonna have to use a lot of them to change that from being MP up into something Spirit up. So I wasn't able to do it with 12. Let's try 30, and we still couldn't do it. I know that the other items will do it. Okay, so the mega stones, I'm not sure how they work. I guess like if we wanted to increase MP up, it would be easier since we have the initial Ultima given MP. But if you want to change it all together, you're going to have to get these following items. Either a hero drink if you want to change a stat, one. It'll only take one to change it to attack. Adamantoise will always, as long as you apply one item, change it to Vitality. Dark Matter will always change it to Magic. And Mithril will always change your Materia to Spirit, increasing stats. Or Luck for Gazelle Greens. Fat Chocolate Feather will turn it to HP. Lunar Harp will increase or change it to MP. And Zero Nut will change it from any stat to AP. That's just a given. So if you have something with high levels of stats and you want to change it, try to follow the list on the screen. Try and get like something that's the same level as the material you want, or you're gonna have to up the list to make it weaker or down the list to make it stronger. You're gonna have to fiddle with it to kind of change into what material you want. But there is just simplicities. It's the same level, since it does literally just go from like 1 to 5 or 1 to 8. If it's level 1, well, that's not level 1. Hold on. Yeah, we'll go with it. If it's both level 1 but in different brackets, they're gonna favor, or it's just gonna give you the one up top. That's the only exception that's like confusing to people. Like if I put Cure up top and it was level 1, even though Thunder was in a smaller bracket, it still followed like the number system in each bracket. It's just, it goes from 1 to 10 pretty much, and these are like level 10. You can never make them, but they will always pretty much boost your materia. So always look for lower level on the list to boost. And if you're gonna try and make something like a magical punch, you're gonna have to want to get something that's around the same level as magical punch, because it's not gonna work. It's gonna do a favor system. You'll either have something that you walk away with magical punch as, but most likely you're gonna have to stay to decrease a spell. I think you gotta use Libra or I don't know. Hold on. I know it's one of these things. Yes, this will degrade it, but there's a whole system with the light blues, the status strikes, status wards, almost strikes, and wards. These follow the rules I said previously, but they're a little bit different. They're great for metamorphosing, so if you find yourself trying to find a materia that you don't have that's weaker or maybe stronger, you might want to look at these and just test the waters. But the most that I've understood is these are really useful for making your material weaker, such as Gil Toss or Mug. You can actually use these to turn it back into steel. But I got all videos on that, so check out my channel, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Bye bye.